Hi, my name is Marietta Mahani, and this week's Aqua tip was inspired by one of the people in my Aqua mentoring group, Sharon Case. Now, she had an awesome combination, and I don't want to take away from what she did in the Aqua mentoring, but it made me think of some ideas. And the whole idea of holding onto the board, both hands gripping at the front, and then pushing the board down. So I'm going to show you some of the things I came up with I really like. So when you've got the whole board, when you've got your whole arm lengthened out in front and you push down, it becomes a lat exercise. But because you've got to control your body so that when the board goes down, your body doesn't sway back, you actually use your abdominals to brace against the board. It's pretty awesome. So just doing this, and I'm sure most of you have done something very similar to this with using a kickboard. So nothing new, nothing fresh here. I agree. What's new is what you can do with the legs. So I'm pushing the board down, and I'm trying to keep it under the water so that I'm not going to splash my face too much. And now I'm going to jump forwards and back. So I'm going to jump forwards, jump back, jump forwards, jump back, front, back. Now I want you to notice how much I lean back as I jump forwards. I'm trying to bring the kickboard all the way down to my abdominals and down to my thighs, and I'm trying to get my legs as far forward as I can without losing my balance in the water. It's pretty fun to do. So jumping forwards, back, out, out, out. And you really have to use your abdominals. It's like doing a reverse plank in the water. So normally with a plank we think prone. When you're pushing back, your abdominals are bracing to hold you from falling all the way back. It's quite fun to do. So here, the goal is to try to see if you can get your legs to go further forwards. Now notice I'm lifting my knees up as I do this. So you've got to really pull your knees up to do this movement pattern. Now from there, we can then think about pushing the kickboard down as you lift the legs up. So from here, to there, and now I'm pushing the board down and I'm flicking my legs up. It's actually getting me out of breath, which is weird because it doesn't feel like a cardio exercise. Then you can do a combination of, because as you kick your legs up, your body goes forwards. So to jump forwards and back, your body goes back. You kick your legs up, your body goes forwards. So now we combine. Front, back, out, back. Front, back, out, back. Jump forwards, back, out, back. Jump forwards, back. Oh. It's such a great exercise. I really like it. Just because you're constantly managing where your body's position is in the water. The whole time you're gripping onto that board, the important part here is to keep your arms as straight as possible when you're pushing the board down, right? Yep, it's a fun exercise. I hope you give it a go. That's this week's Aqua tip. All right, this is quite the demonstration because, of course, it's very difficult to do this when you are on pool deck. I don't know too many Aqua instructors who can jump up and flick their legs out into the air and come back down again. So we are going to need some tools. Of course, we've got the kickboard. I would suggest that you start by demonstrating this movement pattern and get them familiar with how the body wants to move forwards and back. It also helps you with setting up the next exercise. So we've all done this before, I'm sure of it. Making sure the board stays under the water, so you need to cue that, which means, my personal trainer is sitting on the floor, that you need to make sure that your arms don't lift up that high, because of course on land, especially if we're really enthusiastic, we're going to lift the arms all the way up. Try to keep the arms down a little bit lower and press the board down towards the abdomen. Now, you can't feel it on land like you'll feel it in the water, but you will need to indicate to them to try to keep their body still, which they'll find that they'll be activating their core muscles to do that. Then, I would suggest you teach it like this. Keep these arms going, and now what I want you to do is jump as far forward as you can, and then back. So jump forwards and then jump back. Now I've switched over the frame to use it in this position because along the bottom of the frame there's a bar. Now I can bring my knees up high and rest my feet on the bar and get a little bit of a lean back and then go back and jump back. Now if I've got the frame this way, which you can still do, you might like to sit on the frame at the back, jump the legs to the front, and then jump the legs to the back. So that's also an option if you want to do it this way. Of course, it's really, really tricky to do on a chair. And it probably, I don't know how you could do it on a chair. It's a bit awkward. You'll be sitting down and sort of trying to demonstrate. And if that's all you've got, that's all you've got. But then pick up the board again and explain that you want them to jump as far forward as they possibly can and make sure that they bring the board all the way down towards their abdomen and then jump their feet back. So the next thing, or you can go jump forwards, jump back, but try to also lift your knees up as you go to the front and to the back. Then you want them to keep the arms going, right? And then demonstrate the kick, come back down. Now remember, their body is going to go forwards in the water. So you don't want to lean back when you demonstrate this. You want to demonstrate that your body will go forwards as you kick your legs out in front. Okay, so your body will go forwards because you're pressing the arms down. That's why that will happen. So you're asking them to push the board down as their legs go forward. Now, if you have a chair, then this can definitely be demonstrated with a chair. I'll grab my chair so you can see what I'm talking about here. So here's my chair and I've got there. And so you can just go, all right, now kick your legs up and down, up and down. And the chair is actually pretty good because you can demonstrate the whole movement. Then you want to do the combination. So jumping front, jumping back. You can see how on the chair it's a little bit awkward for that move. And then jump and kick your legs out. Or you can demonstrate part of it in the chair, jump forwards, jump back, kick your legs out, keeping the arms on the board, and then go to something like the frame to give a better example with the legs. And I would use the frame this way because you want to jump forwards, you want to jump back, and then you want to sit on the frame and demonstrate the flick up, jump the legs back, jump the legs forward, jump the legs back, kick up, back, forward, back, kick up. Meanwhile, pressing the board down all the time towards either the thighs or in between the legs. Great abdominal workout. It will get your heart rate up a little bit, especially when you do that combination. It's a really fun exercise to do in the water. And if you teach it in that progression, arms first, then teach it with the jump, then teach the kick, and then put them together, that will take a little bit of time in your class, and it's interesting to do. And that is this week's Aqua Tip.